Hey, everybody. Okay, we'll let that go on. That'll notify the fans in a little bit. Folks, welcome to the newest episode of Rank You Very Much, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got a great episode planned. We've got some great guest experts. Our topic today is Worst WWE Storyline. And as always, we have guest experts to the left of me, folks. He is owner of not only the WWE Network, but also two Mr. Sockos, Mr. Matt Steven. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Joe.
Oh, fantastic. When you own two Sockos, are you just telling me you own a pair of socks?
No. I own a few pairs of socks, but...
You own a few pairs of socks?
Yes, I own two socks signed by Mick Foley, so...
You own two... What was so bad about the first sock signed by Mick Foley?
I wanted to get it for a friend, and then I just never gave it to him. So, he still needs it.
So, is your friend around?
No, he lives in another state.
So you're just keeping one socko for business, one socko for pleasure. Okay, that's fair. Hey, you know what? I'm not going to follow up with that question. To the right of me is somebody borrowing the WWE Network from the left of me, Matt Stevens, and also the owner of one of those little WWE rings, but he has no action figures.
No, it's a TV tray.
TV tray, one of the owners of a TV tray. You know, I confuse those two.
It's a WWF TV tray.
WWF TV tray. So old school.
Texas Tornadoes.
Tornadoes on it.
Hulk Hogan, Big Boss Man.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
The Honky Tonk Man.
David Arquette.
Well, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Folks, to the right, Mr. Brent Terhune. Thank
Hi.
you, Brent, for coming on the show. You were the one that's recommended that I bring Matt Stevens onto the show with you.
You're welcome.
It feels like
I'm
it
sorry.
feels like it was because you're borrowing his WWE Network. Is that?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fair. I mean, you got to bring the people along that helped you out of off the St. Lunatics theory.
Yeah, it's all. If you're not, you got to provide me something for me to provide you something.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's how the world works these days. I'm thinking about buying a house. Anyways, guys. Worst WWE Storyline is today's episode, and as always, behind me you can see the list of WWE storylines we'll be talking about. Number 1, Mark Henry and Mae Young having a baby that was a hand. Zach Gowen, the one-legged wrestler. Linda McMahon sedated in a wheelchair. Chavo as Kerwin White, which was Chavo Guerrero, a Hispanic man pretending to be white. His slogan was,
If it ain't white, it ain't right.
Jeez Louise. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio for the custody of a child.
In a ladder match.
Sean, can you not hear us? Sean, you said that mic's plugged in. Let us know if you can't hear us. The mic is not plugged in for Facebook Live. It's plugged in for BitChat. Facebook Live is for you guys. We'll talk a little louder if you can't hear us. Also, we have Hornswoggle and we have Vincent McMahon's son. Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah.
Eugene. Just Eugene. Okay, you can hear us. Okay, I thought that said lean. Eddie Guerrero for the win. John Layden already picking the winner. Eugene, Kane's love life, because they couldn't come up with which Kane's love life storyline was the best. So we're just meeting that's Katie Vick, that's Lita, and that's his weird relationship with Paul Bear. I'll even throw that in there as well. Big Boss Man's treatment of his fellow man. Again, there wasn't one Big Boss Man story that was enough. He seems to not treat people well. I'll be honest. I think Big Boss Man's got some real problems. He needs to look inward first.
Especially being a servant of the public.
Policeman. Our tax dollars are going to this guy dragging Big Show's dad's corpse around. Sergeant Slaughter going Saddam Hussein sympathizer during the Gulf War, which we found out that Saddam Hussein was the worst person ever, right? So he had the war.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, the anonymous Raw GM. Daniel Bryan is the best part of Kane's love life. I like that. It's a good comment, Josh O'Neill. The anonymous Raw GM is last. As always, we have a 12th spot. When we get down to the final 5, I'll ask you guys to give a suggestion to enter for the 12th spot. That's where you, the fans, can also play along with us. So thank you very much. And if you're watching on BitChat, please feel free to call in at any time. Let us know your thoughts, what you think about wrestling, what you think the worst storyline is. Just anything you want to talk about. We can add your stuff to the list. Be a part of the show. As always, folks, the first part of the show, we start out with the veto round. We go one at a time. We take something off the list that we think is not the worst WWE storyline. And as always, we start with the oldest person here, Mr. Matt Stevens.
I guess if I had to pick one, Mark Henry.
So you're picking one right now that's not the worst WWE storyline.
Not the worst one.
You're saying it has the idea of the show is to get down to the final one. So you're taking ones off that you don't think is the worst.
I don't think Mark Henry and Mae Young is the worst, purely because it just made me laugh too much.
There's a baby that's a hand.
It made me laugh too much.
That made you laugh a lot when she
Yeah.
just gave birth and there was just a hand.
And a cigar. She's got to smoke a cigar while she's giving birth. I don't know. It made me laugh too much.
Oh my! I am shocked. I am shocked that the first thing we're taking off is they weren't even wrestling involved. There was no wrestling in the storyline.
Can I just say that I agree with Matt? And sexual chocolate. His name is Sexual Chocolate.
An 80-year-old
Well, why
woman.
did she give birth to a candy bar? That feels like that would be the actual thing that she would get. He's not sexual hands, although that would be
Be a baby Ruth or something.
maybe a baby Ruth. Yeah,
I gave birth to a baby Ruth.
it's a boy. We are removing Kane and Mae Young.
Mark Henry and Mae Young.
But we can all
Mark,
agree this
everything's
is,
saying Kane. I'm just gonna say Kane a lot. I apologize. Mark Henry, Mae Young having a handmaid. What can we say, Brent?
but we can agree that this is a ridiculous storyline.
It's
but it's
completely
so
ridiculous.
funny.
Okay, so the idea, that's a good idea. Before we continue, what's your criteria in deciding what the worst WWE storyline is, man?
I think if it offends me, then it's going to offend most people. And if it's really offensive, or it just doesn't make any sense, well, I guess I'm kind of describing the Mae Young and Mark Henry one. But if it genuinely makes me feel like if I don't want to watch it again,
woman.
if I don't ever want to watch it again, and it generally made me feel uncomfortable, I guess that would be my criteria.
So for you, it's like you don't get offended easily. So if you do get offended, obviously there's something wrong.
Yeah, I guess that's a good
What
one.
about you, Brian? What's
I
your
guess
criteria?
if offensive, I agree, but also if it's lame, if it doesn't, to use a wrestling term, if it doesn't get over, if it's not a storyline that the fans enjoy.
Yeah, so you're not getting a lot of cheers. You're just getting boos, and you're getting like X-Pac heat.
If you're getting either booze or if you're getting nothing, if you're getting indifference,
Gotcha.
it's supposed to make you feel some way.
Yeah, so that's yeah. That's it. It just reminds you because I said X-Pac heat. My favorite match of all time is Intercontinental Championship: X-Pac versus Gangrel. And the crowd just going boo, but not even like a loud boo, just like a normal tone, eye roll, boo.
Boo this man.
It's so great. Gangrel right on the ropes. He's so fat. He's so fat. But I love him. I love the Brood. They make sense. Vampires.
Yeah.
The corporate ministry, they doing all these things, and then you just have vampires on the side there. These undying people who are like working. They're like, we'll work for you. Whatever you say, Undertaker.
Yeah.
That's how powerful.
Well, he's a dead man.
He's a dead man. They can't suck his blood.
But then they
No
still
reason to
choose,
suck his dick, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey,
they still choose to settle their disputes in a mortal way by fighting.
Spear!
Yeah.
The kill switch! That's so funny. Okay, Brent, you're up. What are you taking off this? What are you vetoing?
Anonymous Raw GM.
You're saying not the worst storyline.
Not
I
the
thought that was
worst
a for sure win. Why are you taking Anonymous Raw GM off the list?
Well, for somebody that doesn't know the storyline, essentially, it was the GM, but then you would hear a text noise in the computer, and then they would hand out their instructions that way via computer, but we didn't know who it was for a while.
Yeah, and then the whole thing is the build up.
Yeah.
Build up. Was that during CM Punk?
I think so.
I think
yeah.
it was around the same time. Yeah.
Because
CM Punk
they thought it was like Kevin Nash was in the Raw Anonymous GM for a second. They thought it was other people, and
I don't think they ever say who it was.
They never revealed it.
They never revealed it.
Well, there were so many people that could have been. That's what.
Yeah, and it could have been cool.
Yeah.
Eventually, that they're taking over, and but no.
Hornswoggle.
Well,
Wasn't it
jeez,
Hornswoggle?
he would just come out from under the ring where he lives
Yeah,
and
yeah.
tell everybody what's going
You can't
on.
get to the microphone.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that guy's been through so much. He's on the list. May I have your attention, please? And I quote Bradley Scott. What is you? What is Bradley Scott the anonymous Raw GM?
I think so.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Raw anonymous GM off the list. I'm surprised at that. I really hated that storyline because it really went nowhere. It went nowhere. They all just said, "Okay, we're done doing this."
Yeah.
It was not gratifying at all. There's no finish.
Not as gratifying as owning two Mr. Sakos. So the good thing is when one's in the wash.
Have you watched them?
Have you watched them?
No.
Have you worn them?
Nah, not since.
Not on your feet.
Not on my feet, just on my hand. Or we use it to draw Rumble numbers out.
You haven't shot one out?
No.
You
I
sure?
had more respect to the match for Foley.
Well, it's on the inside. His autograph's on the outside. Until you flip it over if you didn't watch
I mean,
it.
it's a sock. The ink bleeds through.
More like Mrs. Sacco.
Oh, jeez. I can't believe he did that to me. Guy
boy.
signs it. I don't know if you guys know or can see on this. I have some pretty good cameras, but he is sweating profusely.
A little bit.
5
I
minutes
sweat on my
into
forehead a lot.
But the light, there's a light over here.
That light is cool. It's not even that hot. No, you don't, Matthew. Got 2 feet, don't he? Well, I didn't. I think I missed something. Anyways, we are continuing the task. I'm up next to Vito. What the worst WWE storyline is, and I am gonna say, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna go with Chavo as Kerwin White.
Oh, come on.
I think that's a classic heel move to go against your own race. It's like right to censor when you go against what you all stand for, and the
Sex
white
and
is right.
drugs and- yeah.
And in today's economy,
If it ain't white, it ain't right. I get it.
well, that's not. Well, I probably should use the wrong prepositional phrase. There's a cat in my hand. I would say that Chavo Guerrero. Plus, I don't think there's any reason Chavo Guerrero should be anywhere near top of a list. Unless it was worst Guerrero. So I am taking Chavo Guerrero's Kerwin White off the list.
I'm not too familiar with the storyline, so can you guys explain
Matt?
this?
he was like a upper elite, like golf club white person who would just wear button downs with a sweater wrapped over his shoulders, and basically just tell people if it ain't right, or if it ain't white, it ain't right.
That's a weird mix of like country club white, but also redneck white.
Yeah.
What was it? Did he have a stable, or was he just doing solo?
I think it was just him. And it was like
I think it's called a clan.
And
Oh, Jesus Christ. The corporate clan.
oh boy.
Pete Rose appearances are worth discussing. Yeah, I think that's part of Kane's love life. I honestly... Kane's a whole different beast. The devil's favorite demon, they say.
Kane gets around.
Kane gets around.
I think that's the next leak of WWE sex tapes is Kane.
Oh,
Kane, but in like old Kane, not like new
Not
Kane.
corporate
just
Kane. Yeah. The
Fire
devil's-
at the end of the bed. Fire in the sack, too, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think Kane's
He's a demon in the sack.
He's a demon. Hey, demon in the streets, demon in the sheets. I'm going to move this cat off my lap. Bye. Kane and Katie Vick. Yeah, it's part of Kane's love life, Brad. All right, we're down to we took 3 off. But you know what? That went so well, we're going to do another round of veto. That was like our podcast voice, what I did there. Like a generic, like straight up, like a game show host. So if you ever need a host for your game shows, I'd be the guy. Those tapes will ruin his political campaign. You will know, all right?
He'll never be mayor of Knoxville.
Kane, I want to reach out and grab you by your soul. You know, that's
Yeah.
Kane.
You know who should bring on to help him his mayoral run is Jerry Lawler.
That's a hard word to say.
Mayoral.
Mayoral. Like you
Mayoral.
think there's a thing that between the oral.
It's like
Mayoral.
rural.
Yeah, it's like you just took some Novocaine. And
Yeah.
You're mayoral.
But Jerry Lawler also ran for mayor and didn't win.
But mayoral is the more polite way to say can oral.
Yeah. I was just like, mayoral?
Mayor?
Jerry Lawler though is going through his own little controversy right now.
What's going on with him?
Didn't he have he's got knocked off WWE because of some sex abuse stuff? I think.
Oh, that
like
was
that.
charges dropped.
Charges dropped. Okay, well then it never
He's
happened.
fine. He's fine.
There was a drunk girlfriend, and he doesn't drink, so I think things got out of hand with that.
Oh, I see.
It was all her fault because she's a woman. No.
So it's the devil's favorite demon, alcohol.
Yeah.
That's who's to blame. Yeah, alcohol, Matt. You're up. What are you taking off the list? What are you vetoing now?
Eddie and Ray is just, it was so terrible, but I don't know if I can pick it just because I love everything.
A back-to-back Guerrero?
I can't do that one. I just
Okay, you sound like you have a Mr. Sacco on right now.
no. Let's. I'm gonna take off Sergeant Slaughter.
Major Frederick Law said, blame the victim, Brent.
That was the joke.
I'm gonna take off Sergeant Slaughter, just being a Saddam sympathizer, just because.
Because you're a Saddam sympathizer?
No, not anymore. But it makes sense, and it pissed people off, and like you said, like it made people hate him, and he's a character who's been around for a while, and I don't know. I think it worked.
All right, so you're saying the Sergeant Slaughter thing as a storyline worked because it got people where they needed to be.
Yeah.
Jim Ross bringing in fake Diesel and Razor. Ramon was the fake one?
Kane was fake Diesel, and there was a fake Razor Ramon as well, but I don't think he was anywhere.
It worked out for him.
I think that was more to show that they own the names Razor and Diesel.
Yeah, they just want to get his dick.
Yeah.
It's like a Gilbert.
Yeah.
Classic Gilbert.
Or Underfaker.
Oh yeah, or Sin Cara.
That could just be a whole topic is fake wrestling.
Just not the one wrestler. But Sin Cara is the best one because they're like, you are Sin Cara now.
Yeah.
And then they just never really told anybody that there's a
new one.
Sin Cara versus Sin Cara. Oh, it was great. That was fantastic. I hate this show. Thank you, Peter Frederick Walls. Muhammad Hassan right after 9/11. Yes. Yes, that was pretty bad. That was. Well, when we asked for a recommendation, that might be one we put on Muhammad Hassan right after 9/11. Jesus Christ, I forgot about that. That was a touchy subject for everybody involved. Brent, you're up. What are you taking off the list now? What did you take? Oh, you took off Sergeant Slaughter.
Yes.
Big Boss Man and his fellow man.
Treatment of his fellow man.
Yeah.
So Brent, go down the list of things Big Boss Man has done to other people.
I don't know all of them, but my favorite is, of course, when Big Boss Man shows up at the Big Show's dad's funeral in like a Blues Brothers cop car with his speaker on top, and they're at the funeral in a legitimate graveyard. Not a fake one.
Not one of those fake yards. Not Underfaker. There's not an Underfaker there. There's an Undertaker at this real graveyard.
And he's talking through the big speaker, and he pulls up and he's like, "Hey, Mrs. White, I heard you was single." And then,
just so you know, Big Show's dad really did die.
Yeah, that was a shoot. And then he proceeds to chain up the casket to the car, and then
why does no one stop him while he's doing that?
Because the only one that could is Big Show, and he like fell over the car or something.
No, a car.
Yeah. And then he proceeds
what a knucklehead.
to chain the casket up to the car, and then drag it, and Big Show jumps on top of his dead dad's casket.
On his dead dad's casket.
How does he not destroy the thing? Big Show's got to be, 500 pounds, they say?
That's 500 pounds, Arrow.
Those are heavy-duty caskets, though.
Those are heavy-duty chains.
That might have been a gimmicked casket.
You don't think it was a real casket?
Reinforced.
Well, Big Show probably had a big dad.
I think it really was his dead dad in there.
You think? Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why? Well, you don't want to take away. You don't want
it
to take away the mask.
Yeah.
You know?
It was commitment to storyline.
I would agree. The comic crash, and you did see a dead body, and the crowd would be like, "Well, this is not enough. Go more."
I don't know all the details of the next one, but he does feed Al Snow his dog.
You know more about that.
I know it's I think it's after a match in the middle of the ring, and I don't know the.
Does Al Snow know it's his dog?
No, he doesn't know it's his dog.
It's like a Eric Cartman, Scott Tinnerman type thing.
Basically.
Classic. Not a bad move.
No.
If you really think about it, not a bad move at all. To take your enemies and have them eat their loved ones.
They're pets.
Well, I wouldn't say Scott Tinnerman. Those are his parents.
Well,
pets.
Yeah. You know.
You can't spell parents without pets, though. So maybe you're onto something.
That's just an astute observation.
But yeah, in Big Boss Man, at the end of the day, he did get hung by a rope by the Undertaker. So,
yeah. Which that was in the running.
That might be the craziest thing they've ever done.
That's what you got. That's what you get for messing with that graveyard.
Yeah, that's.
Wait, so the crazy thing they did was hang him by a rope in front of
Well,
everybody?
I mean, he's a cop. You're hanging a cop, and it's just I don't know.
Just a person in general.
Yeah, I didn't really put the whole that was a cop thing on. I
Because
just thought it was just a person.
I mean, he's
At the time, he was
The person
wearing the
first.
all black.
Yeah.
So he was more of like a
a military.
mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
He's in deep. He's in too deep.
But when you think about it, that's probably the last time we've seen a public hanging. Is in the WWE.
You know, that's actually fair. I think that's a fair point. I don't think. I mean, ladies have seen me have a farewell hanging. You know
Am
what I
I
mean?
right?
You guys know what I'm talking
Your penis?
about? Yeah, I'm talking about penis.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about being well endowed. Matt,
I put them together.
I would need 2 Mr. Sacco socks.
No, they're long ones.
Well,
Still?
still. I'm telling you, it's almost a hazard. It's made my life a living hell. It's
Is that why you have so many back problems?
Too big. Yeah, back problems, neck problems, dick problems.
Other people I get neck problems from?
Yeah, it's the. I'll tell you what. I went to go press the gas and it pressed the brake.
Am I right?
Ah, come on. Last time I went
cruise control when he got a big hog.
motorcycle. I'll tell you. You know what I mean? Word is they're coming back. They hung Saddam Hussein on live TV.
Oh, well.
Wow, Clinton Shorter. Thank you for your knowledge of public hangings. That is true.
Is that like on the Wikipedia page of like
Most
hangings?
recent public hangings? Is
Yeah.
Saddam Hussein,
in
Joe bakes his dick, and then
in the Western world? Maybe that's it.
the
Maybe
Western
that was the
world.
last.
The Western world.
How funny would it have been if they dressed up Saddam Hussein as Big Boss Man?
Well, technically, if you look at it, in Iraq, he was the big boss man of Iraq.
Yeah.
That
So
was true.
Hello, Mrs. White.
I wonder if the crowd in Iraq had the same reaction as the crowd in the WWE.
Just shock. And at
Well, I didn't think it was going to be like this.
yeah. At the time, a hanging. I thought it would be fun.
I thought this was going to be. There's a lot more suffering.
Immediately, Michael Cole tries to be like, is that a metaphor? Is it a symbol? What does it represent?
What does it represent?
Oh, he's dead. But then the next night he came out and just wrestled a match.
They didn't talk about it.
No.
Didn't even have the bandage to show that his neck is injured from the last time he was out here when
Yeah.
he was hung by a rope.
Yeah.
Oh, he's working that neck. Really working that previous injury.
Yeah.
Has to be the WWE. Oh, yeah, okay. They're talking to each other. A good conversation from our fans talking to on Facebook Live. Again, bitch, you can call them anytime. You have any ideas of things you like to talk about the WWE storylines? Feel free. Bring it in. We're at about 120 views. We're at 58 likes. We're killing it on Bitch Chat. Thank you so much for watching the show. I'm up next with the last veto, and I gotta be honest. Well, that list is already gone. I don't even know. I didn't see. I'm taking something off the list that I didn't really know that well, and I'm taking off the list that what I do know is that it wasn't the original plan, and they did it because of some issues with one of the wrestlers. So I'm taking off Hornswoggle as Vincent Kennedy McMahon's son as one of the worst storylines. My theory is they intended to have Mr. Kennedy, but he botched something or they caught him with drugs.
Yeah.
He botched a move with Randy Orton, I remember, that was really bad. And he got reprimanded.
So he was supposed to be Vince's son.
Yeah, because his last name was Kennedy. Like,
Yeah.
who could it be? I'm Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah.
Who could it be? And then he bought something, and then they fired him. And then they just went with, I guess, Hornswoggle.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best replacement they could have come up with? I don't know.
What if it was
Pretty
Kane?
It's the best I could do in short notice.
I suppose.
He's all right. Because he's
I mean,
Am I right, you guys?
when you're wrong, you're right.
There were other jokes I could have made, but I think that was the good one.
I don't know. I didn't really reach the heights that it could have.
See, Matt.
You guys are good at this. I'm agreeing with Envy because he's a leprechaun. Okay, there we go.
See,
All right. Well, wow, we lost 20 viewers. That's a surprise.
that's weird because they they just took the picture of Linda McMahon in the Oval Office with all her family, but you did not see Hornswoggle.
Yeah, you didn't see Hornswoggle in that picture. That would have been a great Photoshop opportunity.
They totally broke kayfabe on that.
There was at one point 3 people. Actually, there was 5 people in the White House that were all stone cold stunned.
Yeah.
5 people.
And one is the president.
One is the president. One is the head of small businesses.
And that may have been the worst stunner ever. Like
The Linda McMahon one?
Well,
No, the Donald Trump one was real bad.
yeah, Trump. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Trump was pretty bad.
The Linda McMahon one wasn't great.
Linda's
Linda
not good either.
I think the Linda McMahon one's worse, but Trump is.
What was Stephanie McMahon's one like? She's been stunned.
I think
Yeah.
she's had a few. Yeah, I think she's.
Well, she's more
had a
athletic.
few.
Yeah, well, she's not doing what The Rock's doing. Flipping completely backwards.
She's not 60. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's worse, Linda McMahon stunner or when Dudley took Mae Young for a power bomb off the stage? That's the craziest fucking thing they've ever done.
But she wanted to do that.
I know. It's not. I'm assuming
It was
Linda
against her
McMahon.
will.
I'm assuming Linda McMahon didn't go. Well, I don't want to be stunned.
Yeah.
Stone Cold was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know why we didn't even talk about that. Dudley taking Mae Young off the stage
Because it's amazing.
Yeah.
because it's amazing. What's a bigger stunt, that or Shane McMahon jumping off the steel cage, the elbow drop, the Undertaker?
I think if there's an 80-year-old woman getting powerbombed, that's more dangerous. Like.
It's a flat back bump. You could take that.
What's a bigger bump, Mae Young's bump or Mankind being thrown off the stage onto the table?
Oh, Mankind's getting thrown off.
Yeah.
He should have died.
Yeah, he definitely should have.
After the words, they're like, well, let's not do anything worse than that.
Yeah.
That was a scary thing. And Mick Foley, if you're watching, do it again.
We need a third Mr. Sacco.
Yeah, we need a third Mr. Sacco. These other two, you can't even get your feet in; they're stuck together. Because Matt Stevens, he masturbates into them. Is that what we're talking about?
That'd be a pretty bad gimmick.
That's a bad gimmick. Yeah, the sticky Mr. Saccos. I think that is a real bad gimmick. Oh, Jesus Christ! Brad Scott is promoting his own podcast on my podcast.
You mean WrestleManiaPod.com? What's that website again? WrestleManiaPod.com. It's a wrestling show that Brad and I do.
Oh, how's it going on that show?
What show? WrestleManiaPod.com?
Is it called the .com, the show title?
Yes. All our fans are called Rassholes, so thank you, fans, for.
Where can you find it?
I don't know. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, Podomatic, WrestleManiaPod.com.
Is there a website?
WrestleManiaPod.edu.
/ HTML
Yeah.
/ WrestleManiaPod.com. Jesus Christ, Brad. You're done. You'll never work at Crackers again, Brad. Okay, awesome. Well, we got that plug in the middle of the show. We usually do it at the end, but hey, when you have a guy like Brent Terhune on it, you'll never have him on again. We're down to the final 5. Folks, this is your opportunity after that quick commercial break we just took. This is your opportunity to tell us what you think is a worst storyline that we didn't put on the list. Currently, what we have, Zach Gowen, the one-legged wrestler, Linda McMahon, sedated in a wheelchair, Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio for custody of a child, Eugene, and Kane's love life. If there's anything we're missing, feel free. It's not pro wrestling, it's sports entertaining. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's the most sports entertaining podcast this side of Dudleyville.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Population, I'm not listening. Folks, thank you very much. It's on BitChat. What am I promoting? Anyways, you
The
guys
show that you're watching.
Yeah, you should watch now. Keep watching. Don't stop watching. We're down to our final 5. If you guys have ones you want to offer as worst WWE storylines, we'll look at your suggestions. We'll decide which one's the best one, and we'll put it to the list. So currently, the first one we have is when they had actual wrestlers box on stage, which
The fall brawl.
There was like an actual boxing match they put the wrestlers
Yeah.
in, and I think they got hurt real bad.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing ever.
They have no idea how to block.
Why would you take your guys that make you money and just be like, yeah, go fight for real?
Also, like that's during a time where they're still like believing in kayfabe, so they're like obviously showing. Well, it's not kayfabe, so you actually get
You're actually gonna get hurt.
Brawl for all, maybe that's what it was called.
brawl for all.
Yeah.
Bart Gunn, he won it.
Yeah, he won, and then he got beat by Butterbean.
Oh yeah, but I mean, they knocked him out like 2 seconds.
Like,
right?
legitimately knocked him out.
They put him up against a professional title-winning boxer.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, he won. He beat up these other wrestlers. Zed versus Mexicans.
Mex America, that was...
Mex
garbage.
America is probably a worse one. This
That
lost
was the real one.
He lost to Butterbean in 20 seconds.
Yeah. And the guy's name's Butterbean.
He wears like the red and white.
Yeah.
He wears like Apollo Creed shorts.
It was like 5'5".
He just looks. I'll tell you what. He looks like what he's named. He does. He looks like a bean of butter.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we're between.
What about the 9/11 one, too?
Oh, and the 9/11 one.
What exactly was that storyline, by the way?
The Mexicools that came out in lawnmowers. Lawrence Taylor, Undertaker versus Purple Undertaker.
Underfaker.
Underfaker. I gotta be honest.
I faked every Undertaker I ever had with you. You gotta be honest.
You can't fake all of that.
Yeah.
You can't fake those eulogies.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. I still think it's the 9/11 guy, Muhammad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Is that the
So
same
what
guy?
was the storyline there? He came out.
I don't remember the 9/11 storyline.
Yeah, I don't. And that
Then
it's
next-
weird the
we're
one
not
thing
gonna
I
ever-
was supposed to remember.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't the one you were not supposed to never forget.
Yeah.
That was the slogan for that was "Forget quickly, please forget
Please.
as soon as possible."
We're going public here. We need stuff.
Trying to be a stock here.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're going with the Mexicools, Mex America, or Butterbean beating up Bart Gunn in 20 seconds.
Probably anything to do with race or 9/11. I mean, because that guy getting his ass whooped in Bart Gunn. I mean, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Nobody's offended that guy got beat up. You know.
We explained that one pretty good, and so we're between Mexicools, Mex America. I think Well, they continually do this, right? Like Crime Time.
Mm-hmm.
Like your race is this.
Embrace the stereotypes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embrace the race.
Except for like probably Shinsuke Nakamura now is not like the stereotypical Asian
No,
wrestler.
yeah, he's not coming out.
He's spitting green.
But that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was
I mean,
cool.
he was a dragon. He was
Yeah.
a dragon, but also a man.
Yeah.
He was a dragon, man.
Man Dragon.
The cruiserweight dragon.
He was a dramigan.
What are some other race-based gimmicks they've had?
There's Crime Time, Mexicools, the Matadors?
Oh yeah, Los Matadores.
Los Matadors, Shining Stars,
Mm-hmm.
who is really horrible.
Oh, that's really bad.
Also, they talk about how dumb America is, and they should go to Puerto Rico. I'm like, Puerto Rico is America.
Yeah, but
It's the same country.
But dumb Americans don't know that.
Yeah, but I think WWE's duty is to train and teach us any Samoan. Yeah, they had when the Rock first came out.
Yeah, that's true.
He was very much be real Samoan-y.
Yeah,
Yokozuna, who wasn't even Japanese,
Lion, wasn't he?
Samoan.
Samoa. Okay.
Usually, if you don't know, Samoan's the best way to go.
If you don't know, now you know, Samoan.
And once you go Samoan, you're gonna get going. I wrote that.
Did you?
Yeah, I wrote that.
I wouldn't tell anybody that.
I wrote it. And then the Ugandan Giant. Who was the guy Andre the Giant wrestled in that steel
Hulk
cage
Hogan?
match? In that steel cage match where the guy had the trainer, the African guy, Kamali.
Yeah, Kumalo,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Ugandan
yeah.
Giant.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Mhm.
and Nation of Domination. But actually, Nation of Domination was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that was a little bit different.
I think it's okay if it's racist, if it's cool. Junkyard Dog, they put him in chains. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
But they did give Coco Beware a parrot, so that's cool.
I'm gonna rate WWE and race.
Right. Has there ever been a Muslim character that's not a heel? Iron Sheik?
I think
time at all? I don't think so.
I think anytime they tried to do it, they just became a heel anyway.
Pretty
So like
much.
the crowd decided they're a heel. That's definitely happened on the cruiserweight in the
Is there a legitimate Muslim that is a wrestler?
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
Okay.
So I
He's
guess
the
it's-
underdog from the underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, the underground.
But who
Trump's
else?
the Underground Railroad
Yeah.
for Trump.
Yeah. who else is a Muslim? Anybody else?
I'm not sure.
Why are you keeping tabs? You putting a list together there?
Yeah. You write that on my
Christ.
hand. No, it's Muhammad, not Jesus Christ.
Kofi Kingston being Jamaican.
Oh yeah. Hey man.
I'm not going. They did the back in time. Oh, Jinder Mahal.
Is he
Yeah.
he's a real Muslim?
Mm,
I'm talking like not.
Are you a real Christian? Like,
No, I'm not.
okay, well, we're going to keep that down. We're down to our final six, folks. The final six is WWE and Race, Kane's Love Life, Eugene, Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio for the custody of a child, Zach Gowen, the one-legged wrestler, and Linda McMahon sedated in a wheelchair. Are minorities allowed to do steroids? I don't think that's minor. Are Muslims allowed to use steroids?
look at Jinder Mahal.
You know, I'm going to just move
That dude's
along.
ripped it, but he's ripped.
Yeah, he's done a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
He changed it completely, his own look. And he just seems angrier and a little off.
No, but he's peace. All about being calm.
So what me? Okay, we're down to our final six. What we're gonna do now is go one at a time and decide whether it's a top three worst storyline. First off, we've talked about it a lot. Do you think WWE and Race in general is a top three worst storyline?
You asking me?
I'm asking both of you.
I think if we're going to go that broad on it, if it's that broad, then yeah, I do. I think it could be tough.
So I would say no because it's too broad.
Really?
So it's not specific enough. It's like a general statement. I don't like the idea that.
Yeah, if you're going to go that route, then yeah. If you don't narrow it down,
Where are we going?
if you don't narrow it down to one, then yeah. But I think that just because if you look at all of them together, there's so many that make you feel just not okay with being a wrestling fan sometimes.
But then they're also like it's like Nation of Domination. Everybody like it's like it just depends on
It
the
just
time that it happened and how they handle it.
I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't like white people. I mean,
Every
they don't like
Irish
white people.
wrestler, like
Well, who they let in the Hart? Owen Hart was in Nation of
I
Domination.
think maybe towards the end, I think that did happen.
Classic.
We saw what
See,
happened
we're
there.
working together, people. Hearts are mended. It should be hilarious if there was a Schindler-less Jew wrestler. Well, that's
What?
I don't even understand that one.
I think you're thinking of Chris Jericho and his list.
Yes, that's a different list.
You just made the list.
Ooh, I'm feeling gassy.
So is that one? Because it is yes and no. I think.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do, something I like to do here is if it's indecisive,
Okay.
we put it on the cusp.
Okay.
So we go through to see whether it's gonna make the top three or not.
Okay.
We're gonna go Kane's Love Life. Is that a top three worst storyline? Let's go through the list of what Kane's Love Life is. His mother was killed to death by The Undertaker.
Killed to death. Yes. Set the funeral parlor that they lived in was set on fire by the Undertaker.
So Kane's mother, his first,
Well, his parents in general.
yeah, but we were trying to just go why Kane's Love
You
Life.
can
is
love
so
your dad,
screwed. Yeah, but it's
even though he doesn't love you. You can love him back.
okay. Well, I don't. I'm not calling it. Kane's Love Life. Then from there, he fights the Undertaker. He then meets. Is it Katie Vick first?
I don't remember.
Katie Vick was before Lita. And
So he
everything.
meets Katie Vick. They fall in love. Then she gets killed.
Kane's a drunk driver, by the way. It wasn't.
I think Katie was the drunk driver. One of them was the drunk driver.
Wait, what?
It was
That's
a drunk,
how she died.
Yeah, there was a drunk driving accident. That's what died.
Did she really die? Or was it that it was written in the story that she had a drunk driving accident and died in the story?
Yes, in the
Because
story.
Triple H revealed it to the audience because he was like he's a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was Kane driving.
Kane
Can you imagine
driving.
a drunk Kane?
It's the devil's favorite demon.
Yeah.
Combined with the devil's favorite demon.
The devil's favorite daiquiri.
The demon alcohol.
I think
Triple H, and then Triple H had sex with the corpse.
Yes.
While wearing a Kane mask. Yeah. I think if you fuck a corpse, that's
In a funeral home. In the casket.
In a funeral home, where, as you realize,
During
where
the
his
funeral.
mom died.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
I'm gonna
So
go yeah on that one.
did they show video of them having sex?
Yep.
He gets into the casket.
And Triple H was just trying to show that it was Kane.
And then he ended it with, "I screwed your brains out," or something like that. Go watch that on YouTube.
Oh boy.
Just so you know, folks, if you ever think that in your life you're not going to be able to make it or make anything out of yourself, one man had sex with a corpse and is now going to be president.
That was
COO of WWE currently.
That was actually the second time they had to shoot it because they went to the wrong room in the funeral home. And, you know.
Boy, Katie got really old and bald.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
These guys down in making gimmicks, they really sucked at making this doll.
Do you think Stephanie McMahon was like, did you get tested for scurvy or
You gave me
whatever?
rigor mortis.
Which is my favorite cartoon is Rigor Mortis.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Mortis.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And that's not even the next thing. The next thing, he has a kid with Lita. Kane does.
See, I'm not familiar with this one as much.
She has a kid with Lita's pregnant. They don't have a kid. And then Snitsky, everyone remembers Snitsky, great character. Not really. I think he pushes, like he gets knocked into Lita somehow, and she falls down, and she has a miscarriage basically. And
What is this? Why are they writing a storyline like that? Like, why was that allowed? How does any of this? I'm gonna have sex with a corpse. Yeah, that'll get the ratings up.
Yeah.
But it
What
was-
is wrong with the people watching? That's the.
It was the Monday Night Wars. You had to do something.
and then Snitsky,
They had to do something.
he worked his whole catchphrase around it, was just "It's not my fault."
That's it. Steve Sherman just said that before. Then he punched the baby. What do you mean he punched the baby? He kicked the kid?
Kick the baby.
Oh, okay. Jesus, that's true.
But it wasn't his fault. We know that much. So
It wasn't my fault.
Either way, a child was lost.
Snitsky's slogan was loosely based off, "Did I do that?"
Yeah, I was gonna say. Did I do that?
Holy crap. And you gotta think, as tough it is for the people that Kane loved, Katie, Vic, and Lita, Katie being dead and desecrated, Lita having a miscarriage.
Do you think that baby would have came out with the mask, or would they put the mask on him?
The devil's favorite demon baby. Do you think, but it's the, as tough it is for Katie being dead and Lita having a miscarriage, it's tougher for Kane. Having to deal with that. The guilt. And then it tells you guys you can do all those things and then still get a corporate job for WWE for manager of talent relations. That Kane and Snitsky thing had a meat hook match. So Snitsky had a baby doll and he pretends it was theirs, then he punts it into the crowd. Oh, Jesus.
I don't even remember that part.
Jesus.
Do you think that when Kane's running for mayor, that they're gonna dig up dirt on him with like?
I think they're gonna dig up some dirt, and I'll tell you what, they're not gonna find anything. All that thing's explainable. It wasn't Kane in that coffin.
Yeah,
It wasn't Kane why that kid died.
he was the victim.
The wrong kid died. So Kane's love life. Now that we've gotten through all these things, is Kane's love life? Also, he kills Paul Bear accidentally, which was Edge as the good guy tricked Kane into killing his mentor.
That's not a good guy move at all.
No, it's not a good guy, but Edge. Everyone cheered on. Yeah, we're killing a dude.
Yeah.
Sad. That was the last time Paul Bear was on screen. Was when he got pushed off the second floor and landed down on the first floor, laid there dead. Because Kane thought it was a fake Paul Bear. Because Edge had been tricking him to killing fake Paul Bears over and over and over again. What? That was recent. That was like 6 years ago. That wasn't like late to the game. I love WWE so much.
I think this is one that could be top 3.
You think Kane's Love Life? I can't believe it.
Yeah.
You think Kane's Love Life is top 3?
Fucking a corpse, yeah.
Next, Eugene.
Yes.
I think we've gone through I think Eugene and Kane are my 1 and 2.
Explain what Eugene was.
Yeah, what is Eugene?
He is a mentally challenged wrestler. Is that how I should say it, I guess? And he was William Regal's nephew, I believe, is how he started, something like that. And he would just make random appearances and just talk about how he's so excited to be here. And then...
Did they ever specifically state he's mentally handicapped?
I don't think so.
So
but
it's like he's got childlike wonder.
He just comes out there pulling his hair.
He always had that same windbreaker on.
And which is buttoned, like the third button is buttoned to the first button down here. It's not a good look.
He's going on TV. Why
No,
would he dress himself?
It would have been fine if it was like a Special Olympics athlete that was
Eric
that
Bischoff's
gimmick.
nephew. Eric Bischoff's nephew.
Eric Bischoff.
It would have been fine if it was like a Special Olympics athlete doing this gimmick, you think? But the guy was not handicapped.
Yeah, if you can, mentally handicapped people should be able to do whatever they want to do, but I don't think you should pretend to be one.
Brad says he looked like a deadbeat dad.
Is there a blackface term for playing a handicapped person?
I don't know. I asked Sean Penn, Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
And his signature move was to basically mimic Hulk Hogan, and he would Hulk out, I guess. And we can't forget when Hulk Hogan and Eugene helped defeat the terrorists at WrestleMania 21. Can't forget that part.
How bad were these terrorists?
I think it was Muhammad Hassan. So pretty bad.
Jesus. So, I'll say this. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Now, if they had Eugene fuck a corpse, we'd have another one.
His real name was Nick Dinsmore, and he was fired for roids. Well, you think he had the strength of 1,000 men already.
What kind of weird thing where you'd be like, hey, this handicapped guy's got to be really super ripped and strong?
That guy's still wrestling the indie circuits now.
As Eugene, right?
Yeah, he's still Eugening it.
He's still Eugene?
I don't know, maybe. But
I thought he ditched the character.
No, what he does now is he goes out and he performs eugenics. It's a real weird experience for everybody involved. Eugene, boy howdy.
they should just take these character descriptions and go to see somebody on the street that's not involved with wrestling and be like, what do you think of this? And if they're like, no.
I think you need to
Probably don't do that.
Just a random. Okay, no. Here's the deal. Because they're African American, they're criminals.
Probably not.
I don't think that's gonna please anybody involved.
Who in the creative meeting was like, what if we make them handicapped?
No, it's Eugene with a U now, dude. A trademark. And then, hey, Clinton, we're getting to that. That's on the list. That's down the line. So, personally, I think we're agreeing that Kane's Love Life and Eugene is in the top 2.
Yeah.
Or top 3. And then WWE and Race, it's too general a topic, I think. Next, Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio for the custody of a child.
I think this one's...
Brent shrugged his shoulders as if it happens all the time.
Well, that's how I lost my kids. I don't like climbing. I don't like heights, so I couldn't win that match.
Ladder match.
Climb the ladder. That was Ray's kid.
It wasn't like a 5-second match for you.
Yeah.
You took one punch and then said, you know what, not worth it. No.
I don't love him that much.
It worked it over the top.
That was Ray's kid, so...
How did Ray agree to that?
You think he keeps the mask on during? I have to protect my gimmick.
What was that accent?
All right, Mysterio accent.
I have to protect me.
When it's time to get down, like he pops up from the floor with the mask on.
I imagine that there's bedposts, and when he enters, he runs around and swings around the bedpost.
Instead of the 619, it's the 669.
Ah, jeez. I
think he killed a guy with that one. That guy died from that move.
You missed again. No,
that wrong hole.
Rikishi's ass versus a bicycle seat. Well, you're not even having fun. A Hispanic man fighting for custody of her child with a ladder. Clinton, that's what we're talking about right now. That is a very strange. Why did they agree to it? That's what I don't understand. Like, why would Ray put his kid up?
I feel like those two wrestled for so long they ran out of shit to do.
No, I understand. I understand this. Like, I understand they made a storyline, but in the storyline was Ray like, you know what?
I don't remember exactly.
I think there was an actual dispute on who the
actual father was.
Yeah, who the father was. I think there was a dispute over that.
They probably brought Springer out. That's classic. Okay, do you think that's a top 3 worst storyline?
No.
I think it's incredibly corny and cheesy, but no, I don't think it's top 3.
What if Eddie won? And then just got the kid, and then Ray just constantly reminded, like,
well, I mean, Ray would have gotten him back eventually.
God, Jesus,
because he died.
Yeah, well, I think too late. Ray already had 12 other kids. He couldn't afford it. Jesus Christ.
Who said that?
Brent Scott, your partner in crime.
Brad, you fired.
Okay, next, and I'm surprised you guys haven't said that Linda McMahon sedated in a wheelchair. What happened? And this one I don't know. So, Brent, do you understand the storyline? Because Matt's been explaining.
I don't know the reason why she was sedated.
I don't remember either. I just know she was in. It was during the Shane versus Vince street fight.
Yeah.
I do know that. Was that part
Trish was involved heavily.
I think it was after the invasion angle.
Was this when he was cheating on her?
Yeah, I think that was when her and Trish had the thing going.
So didn't he like make out with her on Linda McMahon's bed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Linda was like just.
She was on Mick's side, Mick Foley's side.
And right before she was sedated or like went into a coma, she signed the company over to Mick, I think, or her shares, or something like that.
Classic move. Classic business move.
The old sign the company in coma trick, huh?
The old sign is medicinally induced coma trick. I guess there's one small signature for Linda and one giant signing
For Mr. Sign.
for mankind. I'll be here all week.
Technically, he was Mick Foley.
I'm hosting for Hypnotist tonight. Check it out. Anyways, you Crackers Downtown. But yeah, so you're saying not top 3 worst though. What happens in the end? How's it resolve itself?
They bring her out for the WrestleMania match between Vince and Shane, and she just miraculously wakes up. Vince actually brings her in the ring, like when she's still
watch me beat our son.
And she brings him in the ring and sets her in the wheelchair, and then she miraculously stands up and gives Vince a low blow.
Classic.
And if you watch that low blow, you can totally tell it's coming because Vince kind of opens his legs a little bit.
I love the idea that the first thing she does when she wakes out of a coma is hit a guy in the dick.
Yeah. And I also like that there's no muscle shrinkage or atrophy where she can just get up and
she can just walk. She's fine.
Vince threw her a tennis ball.
I don't remember that part.
Larry Lawler versus Andy Kaufman. Oh,
That was good.
That was a good storyline. What are you doing, John?
They got on Letterman. I think that I need a feud with a wrestler if I want to get a Letterman credit. Have Letterman do the show back.
Yeah, well, it's a matter of time. Colbert's ratings aren't great.
Well, I think Jay Leno is going to take that spot.
Yeah, Jay Leno might take all the spots. There might be 4 hours of Jay Leno on.
You see this? You heard about this, folks?
What was that?
Jay Leno.
That's Jay Leno,
I
right?
got a whole bunch of cards and I went and did them.
Is that Jay Leno?
Yeah.
Still? You're still doing Jay Leno.
No, now I'm doing what's the boxer's name?
No, Jay Leno.
Yeah,
That was a good Jay Leno. That was a good one. All right.
By the way, that would have been a storyline if we were doing wrestling in general with
Jay
Jay
Leno.
Leno wrestling. But this
Jay Leno impression. Jay Leno versus Jay Leno.
Yeah.
Jay Leno versus Jay Feno.
Jay Leno and James Ellsworth
Jay
in a
Leno
chin versus no chin match.
Jay Leno versus fake Leno.
Yeah.
Okay, we're taking that off the list. Are we saying not top 3 worst?
Not top three.
Not top
Okay. So then the question is Zach Gallen, the one-legged wrestler versus WWE and race. I think Zach Gallen, the one-legged wrestler, is one of the worst things they've ever done.
Why?
Because he always loses. That's why. There's no payoff. They just bring this guy out and he gets F5 by Brock
Let's see
Lesnar.
if let's watch him fight Brock.
Vince McMahon beat him in a fight.
But in all fairness, everybody loses to Brock, pretty much.
Yeah, but also Vince McMahon beat him in a fight.
Well, you
They
know,
built this whole thing up where Vince McMahon and him finally fought, and Vince McMahon just beat him up because he had one leg.
yeah.
I think putting him in a match with Brock is just dumb to begin with. I don't know. He's the biggest, strongest guy versus a guy with one leg and
What, if,
170 pounds.
what would be worse? That happen or Zach Allen winning?
That would be way worse.
That would be way
There's
worse.
nobody wins on that one.
Nobody. Well,
Except for
Brock.
Brock.
Yeah, Brock wins. Nobody even got mad at Brock for it. That's the... Brock just did it.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're saying WWE race
That
worst...
could be more of an inspiration. He didn't win, but he also made it to the WWE.
Yeah,
I get that
I
part.
guess.
If I have to pick between those two,
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he barely had a leg to stand on.
Am I right?
You know what I mean?
After he left the WWE, he got a job as that lamp from A Christmas Story.
No, that's how he got the money to get to the WWE. He sold the other
How
leg.
could I forget? I missed the timeline.
Jesus Christ. Race brought out the worst in fans. Zach Allen beat the Big Show.
Wasn't he in a lot of ass kicking contests, and that's how he lost? Because he's a one-legged man in an ass kicking contest.
how did he beat the Big Show? I don't remember that.
How did he beat the Big Show, Clinton?
How do you?
I think he showed up to his mom's funeral.
Put the pedal to the metal. I can only do that.
And he wrestled with a fake leg, I remember, right?
Did he?
At one point, I think he did, yeah. And then they always made a point of ripping it off and beating him with it, just for good effect.
Well, why wouldn't you do that, you know?
With help from Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. Well, at least he got back together.
You know
with
what
Brock.
would have been good is to make him a heel. Because
You know,
everybody would just assume since he's handicapped that he would be, a good guy. Make him a bad guy.
Watch what you're saying. You want to put your foot in your mouth.
And that's how he wins, is he always takes the foot off and beats him with it, while the ref is knocked out.
Would you say when he does it, it's a feat of strength?
Mm-hmm. You could turn him heel. Because that's a part of the foot.
You have no soul. One. Jesus Christ.
So, no, I don't think that's one of the top 3.
It's part of the foot.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody physically disabled, we really let you guys know.
Yeah.
He only has one heel. Okay, well, Clint, you just throwing the joke late. Zach Allen, the one-legged wrestler, off. We're down to the final 3. Which one is the outlier, not the final 2? WWE and Race, Kane's Love Life, or Eugene? I think we should take WWE and Race off the list and leave it down to Kane's Love Life and Eugene. But if you guys have a disagreement with that, feel free.
Because there are some stuff with the race thing that, Nation of Domination I liked. So,
Shining Stars I love.
but if there was a specific thing in there like Crime Time or whatever.
Yeah, and I think also the WWE race, the one thing that's there, and it's tough because I think it's too general, and I probably miswrote it on there. But not having an African American like WWE champion this entire time.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
But I mean, and given the numbers, there's not a lot of black wrestlers compared to white wrestlers.
Well,
That's true.
that's also a reason that they're not being put on the show.
Well, they're not good athletes. they're far better athletes. Just so everybody
No,
knows.
both ways are bad. both ways.
Sorry.
Both ways are.
Do you want me to leave?
They're
We had-
just like white people.
Jesus Christ. Nah, next
I think the
next
racism-
episode rank you very much in race. That's
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think this episode is worse than.
Well, no, I'll tell you, and I'm quoting from I think it was last week's episode. We had a person talk about tar babies.
Ooh
He
boy.
was saying that term, but he was talking about the actual from the book. He's talking about
Yeah.
the actual thing.
But did he say
But
this
it-
is from the actual thing?
Not until after we
Yeah.
said you can't say that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Bob Nugent.
Yeah.
But it was bad. So don't worry, you guys are not doing any worse than that. That's the worst we've had.
But can I say something about tar babies?
Yeah, what do you want to say? Jesus Christ. We're going to be taking off WWE and race because I'm uncomfortable already. Alright, we're down to our final two, folks. We're down to our final two. Eugene and Kane's love life. So we're talking about a man representing a mentally handicapped wrestler versus everything that's wrong about Kane. Necrophilia? A drunk driving murder?
Yeah. Miscarriage.
A miscarriage? A punt of a baby into the crowd? What was it? Who? Here's a question. I think I know the answer to this. I'm not 100% sure I'm right, but I'm pretty sure. Who was Eugene's last match against?
I know he had an ECW one night stand.
After that.
It was after that? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was, I'll say this, it was for a WWE contract match.
I think there's a clear one that's worse because one we talk about and we don't laugh, and then the other is just like, it's funny, but it's really bad at the same time.
Eugene's last match was versus the Calgary Kid. The Calgary Kid was The Miz.
Was it really?
So Eugene versus The Miz.
Yeah.
Because Miz got fired and then came back as the Calgary Kid for a contract match and then got his way back on the WWE after he was fired.
And then just went back to being the Miz.
Just went back to being The Miz. Classic Miz move.
Yeah.
I love The Miz. He's my favorite.
It's what's best for business.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I loved it. Alright, we're down to the final two. We do a vote now, folks. We do a vote. I am going to let Brent Terhune be the first to vote. What is
so
the
we're
worst
voting
WWE
for
story?
what's worse.
What's the worst story?
Eugene.
Eugene, not even a question for you.
Nope.
Not even a question.
I mean, both are bad,
They're not great.
but one is like portraying a part of society that is just kind of indefensible.
Well, that's what I'm going to counter, because I think necrophilia is pretty indefensible. And the fact that he dressed up with the guy and had sex in the casket.
No,
I am
that wasn't-
voting Kane's love life as the worst WWE story. And not only was there a miscarriage, again, I feel like I have to stress this. You laughed a lot at it, and I think that's more on you.
No,
Kick the baby into the crowd!
That's the funny part. But
He killed in a drunk driving accident, and they're like, well, this is part of the...
I didn't laugh at that.
I'm voting Kane's love life as the worst WWE storyline, which leaves us to guest expert who owns the WWE Network and creams in the not one but two Mr. Sockos that he has.
Creams the jeans.
Creams the socks. Creams the old whites. Creams the old. He's getting that
The old
lube
grape.
for that tube. You know what I mean?
I'm voting Eugene. Okay.
He's voting Eugene. Eugene is the WWE worst storyline. Well, finally you won one, Eugene. Good for you. Eugene, the worst WWE storyline. I gotta be honest, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. We have over 100 comments so far. This is our best Facebook Live. And we have almost 350 views and 157 likes
Oh boy.
on BitChat. You guys have been great on BitChat. You guys have been great on Facebook Live. One of our best episodes. Wrestling related because a lot of you guys are dweebs, including us. But thank you so much for the show. Worst Wrestling Storyline, Eugene. Again, thank you to my guest, Matt Steven and Brent Terhune. Brent, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
No. WrestleManiaPod.com. It's a wrestling show that I do with my co-host Bradley Scott. It's a new episode every week. And it'll be exciting because this week or next week I'm going to WrestleMania. So we'll have a lot of posts and stuff like that from WrestleMania.
That's cool. I went to the last 2 WrestleManias. They're really fun. I was going to go this year, but my buddy ended up not going, so I didn't want to go by myself. And then I found out you're going. Now I feel bad about not going.
Well, I'll just tell my girlfriend that she's not going. We'll go.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, cool.
I don't trust her anyways. She's not good for you.
No.
She's out to get you.
She's a shyster.
Oh, well.
Trying to get my money.
I don't think that's a right term. Shyster.
Yeah, well.
I mean, jeez. That's the worst thing ever said on radio.
WrestleManiaPod.com.
Do you have a Twitter or a Facebook? Is there a Twitter you can steal your jokes on?
Yeah, it's I'm doing a thing called 365 Jokes. It's a new joke every day. And search my name on Google, Brent Terhune, or at Brent Terhune on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Sweet. Perfect. Awesome. Very funny guy. Amazing comic. Headlines all around the country. Tampa Bay.
Mostly
Cincinnati,
Tampa Bay, Cincinnati,
Indianapolis.
Peoria, Illinois.
Is that the Penguin or the
Jukebox.
That's the Jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next time you go there, you need a feature. I love it. I've been trying to email the Jukebox. Anyway, that's an after story. Matt Stevens here, a very funny comic in Indianapolis, a local guy. Does a lot of good little stuff here. I watch wrestling with him all the time, and then he just cries on my shoulder, and then I yell "New Day!" And then it all works out, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Twitter or an Instagram? Or
I do have at Matt Steven, and you can Facebook as well. And I'm hosting the open mic in Crackers on Tuesday. That's always on Tuesday.
That's always on Tuesday.
It's always on Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm Joe Bates. That's my name. I'm the host of Thank You Very Much. You're watching on VidChat under @JoeBatesComedy, or you're watching on Facebook Live. Check me out. If you want to friend me on Facebook, feel free. That's where I ask all the suggestions for the things we talk about in the show. Follow me on Twitter @JoeAmerica22, Instagram @JoeBatesComedy. Again, VidChat @JoeBatesComedy. A very fun time. You guys, I always have fun doing this. It's a real good time. I'm putting a website together. I can't wait to get that up there and let you guys know what's going on in my life. And lastly, you can check me out tonight hosting for Kevin Lapine in Hypnosis Unleashed. It's a hypnosis show. I've already seen 3 of them. I'm going to see 2 tonight, and I've never seen anything like it. It's very, very different. So definitely come check it out. As well as April 5th. Can I plug that show?
Yeah, plug that.
April 5th, there will be a competition at Crackers Downtown. April 5th, Crackers Downtown will be a competition. Of a lot of great local comics in Indianapolis competing to win a spot in the Boston Comedy Festival. That's the Boston Comedy Festival in Boston, Massachusetts. It's going to be a real great time. A lot of great comics on it. Brent, you're on it?
I'll be on.
Why would you get on it?
Because I'm funny.
But yours not that good.
Oh, well. Well, I'll see you in the cage.
It's going to be a 15 threat match. But no, check it out. April 5th, Crackers Downtown. You can find it at crackerscomedy.com. And guys, thank you so much for watching the show. That's been Rank You Very Much. You're welcome. Have a good night, everybody.